I'm ready. Let's go. We're live. Uh, yes, this was an unscheduled video, and I had a great day, a great afternoon, and I stumbled upon some news article that says you might know what happened to me as far as Batavia Downs is concerned and everything under that roof. And some of you might think, oh, well, he's just upset because they barred me for no reason at all. Because maybe I know too much. You know, that they're being investigated by the state and the FBI and everything else. And there's been local reports, national reports published. And it's and here's an article right here. Here's an article. Shaking the moneymaker. New demands for accountability at Wrotb. Where's all the money? I've been saying. Okay. Here's the article. I'm just going to read this. There's 4 parts to it. Under normal circumstances, it would be the responsibility of the board of directors of the Western Regional Off-Track Betting Corporation. They're the Batavia Downs. That's the whole Batavia Downs Casino. To oversee the agency and be sure it is being operated properly on the public's behalf. But when people receive perks, including expensive health plans, luxury seats to see the bills, they have a lot at stake in looking the other way. And can you imagine when you only know during an investigation and you reveal something, you know it's only the tip of the iceberg. And if you dig deeper, which they probably will, that who knows what else they're going to find. Above the board are the local 17 governments that own the public benefit corporation are supposed to receive its profits. One would think that the county legislators across Western New York would be concerned that the people running their agency are doling out expensive perks to themselves at taxpayer expense. Geez. Anybody for the taxpayers? Anybody got the taxpayers back? Does anybody got the gamblers back? Does anybody got the rights of the patrons back? The CEO has constructed some powerful defenses. Nowhere is that the case more in Niagara County. In 2019, as more allegations and evidence surfaced about corruption within Wrotb, members of the Niagara County Legislature, a resolution calling for the New York State Comptroller to audit the agency, defeated on a party line. But the state comptroller did audit the agency and found out about luxury boxes and the rest of it. Then the Republican members of the Niagara legislature buried another resolution, this one calling for the replacement of Wojciech, that's the president or the CEO, and the county OTB board representative, Elliot Winter. Henry can call a party committee member and say, hey, you want to go to the Bills game? We've got a suite. You want to sit in a suite? Explained Dennis Virtuoso, a longtime county legislator from Niagara Falls who retired last week. Now he's probably the whistleblower. Henry is the king. If they don't want what Henry says, they're going to get primaried. Into that vacuum of accountability, others have stepped. FBI investigators are interviewing corruption witnesses. The New York Attorney General is also interviewing witnesses. The state comptroller is reportedly working on an additional audit of the agency. Mike Nolan, the former chief operating officer who questioned the agency's operations, what happened to him? He was fired in December of 2020 after he cooperated with the FBI investigators. He later filed a multi-million-dollar suit against the agency. In a statement, the Downs maintained Nolan's dismissal was 100% performance related. What performance related? There's nothing to do. That's all. It's all electronic. There's nothing to do. You can't mess that up. You can't. Any official position, executive position, you only have limited daily responsibilities. These guys are legally trained in everything else. It couldn't have been performance based. Nice try, Batavia Downs. But some people do have intellect and intelligence and a high IQ. Okay, including the taxpayers that pay your salaries, and you're abusing the power of it. All along, discriminating and harassing and stressing and defaming people like me. And it's only the tip of the iceberg, Batavia Downs. It's only the tip of the iceberg. Believe me. You won't be receiving any letters in August for me to come back in after my 90-day embarment because you targeted me and defamed me. No, you won't be seeing any of that. Bar me for life. I'm going to sit back and watch this circus watch all the pieces, all of you officials come tumbling down. I've been saying it for years how corrupt that place was. I've been saying it for years, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he must have just lost some money there, and JoJo's aggravated. Whether I won or lose there, you got to have eyes to see what's really in play over there. What's really in play, and how many other people they discriminated against in there, because they're like the Gestapo. They got a nice little hustle casino going on there, and they're milking it and riding it for everything there is, where there's no accountability or anything else. A money grab, a power grab, and if anybody's against it, you're fired. Just like Mike. And if Henry or any of them think I have some personal friendship or whatever any of that was going, when you knew I got targeted, I don't see anybody stepping up for me, a patron that's been patronizing that place since the 60s. I didn't see any of those corporate suits stick up for me and say, check the video. At least can you check the video for me before you discriminate against me? No. You're a peasant, Joe. Get out. You're too smart for us over here. We don't want you on the property because you're too smart. And you've also been discriminated against many times. So let's just get you out of the picture. We don't want any of the peasants to have any brains. You know, the peasant gambler, are supposed to be stupid. But the walls come tumbling down like the walls of Jericho. The day finally came. You are going to be held accountable. Taxpayers' money. All the roads got potholes. You're spending money carte blanche on everything else. It's only the tip of the iceberg. Let's continue on. Yeah, they fired Nolan after they learned that he spoke with the FBI. God forbid somebody talk to the FBI. Jeez. We might not be able to get all these perks anymore. Senator Tim Kennedy, a Democrat from Buffalo, said the legislation would shake up the composition of the board, moving power away from the small Republican counties that make up Henry Wojcic's power base. The legislation would also limit the use of OTB vehicles by the agency employees and put a $15 cap on the value of perks that could be doled out to all you people out there. $15, sorry, that's it for you guys. Taxpayers are tired of the dysfunction counties continue to plague them with, Kennedy said. These bills were drafted in order to finally bring accountability and structure to a state corporation that has time and again demonstrated mismanagement and misuse of resources. We're making it clear, he says, corruption will be met with consequences. Blah, blah, blah. Topping all this off, in May, WROTB was hit by a lawsuit that could force directors to pay back hundreds of thousands. Here we go. Here's the place you go blow your rent and your mortgage and your food money and your children's education and college tuition. Here's the place that you folks blow all your money on. Here's what's at play. Topping all this off, in May, WROTB was hit by a lawsuit that could force directors to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on their illegal health plans and luxury and sports seats. The case was filed by an unusual and bipartisan political pair. The plaintiff, on behalf of the taxpayers, the taxpayers got any say in this? Boy, I don't know. The rest of this is just. They knew for years. They said McMurray told them for years the wrongdoing at Batavia Downs has been documented, objectively verified, and recorded. But those responsible have not been held accountable because of their considerable power and resources. He hopes the case will also push officials like the New York Attorney General and local prosecutors to finally take action. As this author wrote the series and was set to publish it, he says, I received a letter from a lawyer representing WROTB warning me not to describe the acts written here as corruption and adding a thinly veiled threat of illegal action if he did not obey them. Oh, they threatened him. He said that the dictionary defines the word corruption in this way: dishonest or illegal behavior, especially by powerful people. It will fall on FBI investigators and the New York Attorney General and other law enforcement officials investigating in the courts to determine whether the directors and senior staff have crossed the line into illegality and at what price they should pay for it. But dishonesty is something that the public can judge for itself. Is it dishonesty to demand taxpayer-funded luxuries? Is it dishonesty for members of a public board of directors to give themselves millions of dollars worth in health benefits, also at a taxpayer's expense, for a 2-day-a-month job, despite repeated official warnings that the practice is illegal? They've been warned and warned. Is it dishonesty to use a taxpayer finance vehicle for personal use for more than a month a year? These matters are for the public to decide based on the facts. The political fortress built around WROTB of favors, contracts, and political connections has shielded those inside from scrutiny and accountability for a very long time. It may protect them still, but the banging on those fortress barricades is increasing from many sides all at once. The real bet in Batavia right now is not in the casino, but about whether the political machine that runs it will be able to survive. Yeah. Anything goes over there, folks. Anything goes. No accountability. Now, I wonder when they made that phone call in the office telling me about how come I didn't stay in a comp room and stuff, and nobody said, geez, that would be a little bizarre. The guy didn't want to stay in the room. He has a right to leave the room or not. Why would you call him and harass me? Now, I wonder nobody stepped forward and says, well, that might not be in our best interest to treat a patron that way. No, it's a rodeo. They haven't had any accountability forever. They've been protected with a fortress of political power and judicial power. But finally, there's no telling how many current lawsuits are pending are pending against them. Wow. Holy cow. And I'm going to tell you, it's the tip of the iceberg, because they targeted me and everything else. And I don't know. I got eyes to see and I got ears to hear, and I saw a lot and I heard a lot concerning certain people over there. Yeah. The corruption within the officials. Forget about the casino games and all this and that, but corruption. And if I said something to a friend, oh, well, JoJo's just mad because he lost his money. No, JoJo's just stating facts about what the real deal is in there. And who they hand out free play to. And everything else they can control. Everything else they can leverage. Because there's no oversight. Well, now there's going to be some oversight, because they've been shaken. They've been shaken. But you're the taxpayer. If you don't care, just keep. Taxes are going higher. Their perks are getting higher. That's the community you want to live in. Go right ahead. If you want accountability, don't go in there and frequent the place. They're in bed with contractors, the article stated, and everything else. They've been targeting me and discriminating against me and harassing me and defaming me for a long time. Because that's just what they do. They don't care. Because for decades, nobody's held them accountable. Well, they've probably been sued in courts and it's a hush, there's a gag order, and nobody knows, and you can't reveal what happened. And then those people are probably barred forever. But the fact of the matter is that they got enough power and money to pay off that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, at a higher level of with these allegations that are being made of corruption and everything else, well, then that'll be decided by the FBI and the New York State Attorney General and Comptroller and everything else. Where's all the money? How come the schools don't have computers? How come the roads all have potholes in them? Where's this money that's supposed to come back? You want to promote gambling in a community, but where's the money come back into society other than the perks for their officials? Whether they barred me or not, I'd be making this same video. Whether they barred me or not, ladies and gentlemen. I'm barred till August 24th. Well, if any of you officials watch this, bar me for life. I could care about going into that place. Alibaba only had 40 thieves. Holy cow. So there it is. And I'm seeking counsel, and I'm going to see what happens. And if I have to make a statement about certain people rocking and rolling in there, I'll make a statement. That's all. They try to throw dirt. They try to do this and everything else. And, you know, it's terrible. And, in a community where you want to set up a casino, a gambling enterprise, you're making enough money already. How greedy do you want to be? You all got six-figure salaries, and then you want to rob perks and all. You want more, more. And that's taken from the citizens that are trying to make ends meet in our community. Wow. I've been saying it all along. Now it's on public record. And it's only the tip of the iceberg, because if they have this type of stuff, and maybe it's going to be proved legitimate or unfounded, but there are so many allegations. Yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty, but holy cow, they're getting shaken up over there. They're getting shaken up. Yeah, time to, if they would have concentrated their energies on not trying to harass and defame patrons that patronize the place every day and clean the garbage from their own backyard, maybe they'd run a more efficient and morally based enterprise. But when they think they're the king of the land, they just run everything. They don't think twice about stopping in their tracks and saying, well, wait a minute, this might be right, this might be wrong. No. No. That's what happens when you've had a politically energized corporation, millions and millions of dollar corporation that's been like that for decades. The arrogance and their posture and their disposition, and that behavior is just like, who cares? Nobody will believe you, Jojo. Nobody will believe you. Nobody will believe you, Billy and Sally. Nobody will believe you. Now the Democrats, it's Democratic and Republican. They finally put, because of politics, it had to be exposed, because both sides are slinging crap. And now it's like, oh, when the smoke clears, what do we have here? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what it took. Yeah. So that's what's at play. And they expect me to write a letter to get back in there in August. No. I'm writing a letter to my lawyer. Okay. That's the only letter I'm writing to my lawyer. Okay. And I don't want any more promotional material. I don't want any correspondence from your corporation coming to my cell phone or my mailbox, because that's continued harassment. You've been doing that even after you barred me. Do you think you're cute? You think you're cute? You're so busy running around grabbing everything. Nobody said, geez, take him off the mailing list and quit sending him mail and emails. Or did you say, yeah, here, let's just send them to him. Yeah, here, let's just get his goat. Let a court decide. So I did a good video earlier, folks, and on a lighter subject, because I wasn't going to speak on any more of that. Like I said in the other video, I wasn't going to speak on any more. I got to certain things I'm pursuing, and I didn't want to speak on any of that garbage on Park Road anymore. But when I seen that article, I was like, wow. Yeah. You didn't have to be a genius to figure it out. But I mean, a fourth grader could see it if they really looked, that's all. So I got a viewer the first time I had a viewer in here. Thank you. This is a cup of JoJo, and I do a lot of different stories. And current events and everything. And I'm just starting my channel, and whoever you are, thank you for showing up. And as I always end my videos, be the king and queens of your world. Stay great. And I'm going to add this one also, and stick up for yourself when you're right. And take care and stay safe. Thank you.